Right now, Richardson Hitchins is a super talent in the sport. At 140 pounds right now, he's got to be currently the best pure boxer at that weight class. Richardson Hitchins is one of them guys you got to watch in slow motion. You know how guys used to come see Mike Tyson fight, or you couldn't see Mike Tyson fight and you seen a highlight and you just caught a guy getting slept. Hitchins is the complete opposite. You got to watch his in slow mo. You got to be a fan of the sport to understand what's going on in there. And at that point, when he come to the ring, all he need is a fedora, some paint brushes, some canvases. He gonna go to work. Hitchins' style is gonna be tough for anybody to beat. He's tall for the weight class, long reach. Understands footwork, understands his distance. Richardson Hitchins is one of them guys who know how to keep you at bay with a jab, and pot shot you all night. Points, and that's why he's able to put on a master class as it pertains to boxing. Hitchins is one of those fighters who know how to use his intellect. He know how to use his intellect to discourage fighters round by round. Each round you feel like, dang, is this guy getting better? Am I getting more tired? Is he noticing I'm getting tired? Is he pushing the pace? Right? Dang, his jab got faster. Or maybe I got slower. He had you in there contemplating certain things that you're doing here that it looks like art. Like I said, get this man a fedora, some paint brushes, and some canvases right now. He ready to go to work. That's how it look when he's discouraging these fighters in that ring. He's breaking guys' will with just his boxing ability. Some guys need a big punch to break a guy's will. This guy just need, you know what I'm saying? This guy just need to get the motions in there and he gonna break a guy down. And sometimes, we get spoiled watching knockouts, but those guys don't get boxing lessons. Guy go in there, get stopped in the third round. But imagine a guy getting teed off on, a full 12 and just taking a continuous ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? Like a continuous ass whooping is always gonna be worse than a quick ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? You keep asking your mom in the store to get stuff, she done popped you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to turn in, she done popped you in your mouth. You done got an ass whooping in the car. Soon as you get back to the crib, you gonna get another, you want a habitual ass whooping? I said before, he has a way of hurting guys mentally, but I feel like he's hurting guys long term as well. You getting caught with 30, 40 flush shots in the first half of the fight, because he's such a sharpshooter. Every time you coming in, he just pushing your head back, pushing your head back, pushing your head back. That's not good on your brain. That's not good on your neck. And like I said before, that style is going to be tough for anybody to beat because he has the range. He understands distance. That makes the most sense for his style is the winner between Subriel Mathias and Dalton Smith. I think that style will fit him perfectly. Those guys aren't really light on the feet type of guys. It'll be more difficult to fight Antoine Russell, the winner of Teofimo and Shakur, because those guys got legs, But like I said before, just on a styles make fights type of, you trying to unify, get you a tough fight in, you could sell it, with Subriel Mathias, he's the boogeyman, if he wins that Dalton Smith fight. Then you could sell that fight with Dalton Smith as, a big fight over there, and then you just got to take a Devin Haney route where you got to go across the pond to go get that. But it shoots you more and closer to superstardom because now you getting that worldwide exposure. Subriel Mathias ain't light on the feet. He not a great boxer. So I could see Hitchins getting in there with a guy like that and twisting and turning him all night. Making easy work of a guy like that. Same thing with Dalton Smith. Those guys struggle with Americans that have skills. History has shown that. So I would like Hitchins in that fight too if Dalton Smith was the winner of that fight. But like I said before, Richardson Hitchins has the ability to be, a top guy at 140. He just got to step up, take on those risks. And I feel like, he can get past a lot of those guys, and, further cement his name into a Hall of Fame career.